Think of a busy airport. It couldn't work without an air traffic control system to manage arrivals and departures. In the brain, this air traffic control mechanism is called executive function. It allows you to filter distractions, to focus, to revise plans, and a lot more. While an airport has a control tower, you might wonder where in the brain all this sophisticated activity takes place. It all happens in the prefrontal cortex, also known as the central executive or CEO of the brain. It is here where the most sophisticated innovation and the final analysis of all decisions take place. Two areas in the prefrontal cortex are of particular importance for executive function and decision-making: the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. The dorsolateral prefrontal cortex in specific uses a number of very important executive functions in the process of creative problem solving, and they can all be enhanced to optimize brain performance. The first of these functions is working memory. Working memory does not seem to be innate knowledge. Rather, it is the prefrontal cortex that holds a number of items in its conscious attention for a short period of time and then letting them go. An example of your working memory at work is when you have to remember a 7-digit telephone number to dial later. Once you have used the number, you will forget the number and not be able to recall it again if you don't need it. You can compare working memory with the number of items that your brain can hold on a workbench, to use them and then letting them go again. We can hold approximately 4 items in our working memory, but many items can be clustered together, and the items can be held longer in greater clarity, enhancing the brain's performance capability. Working memory is a strong predictor of academic performance and can be optimized. Another wonderful function of the prefrontal cortex is to focus our attention and sustain the attention on the problem at hand, and it does this unconsciously. Paradoxically, we think of focus as a very conscious function, but it seems to be vastly unconscious and allows the problem-solving machine of the brain to align the creative and innovative capabilities with the aimed outcome. Simply put, the better your brain focuses and sustains its attention, the better the innovation and problem-solving. One of the fascinating things about our brains is their ability to unconsciously screen out seemingly irrelevant cues from the external environment. This is called latent inhibition. For example, pay attention to what you can hear now. The sound of an air conditioning system. The fan of a computer. You weren't aware of these until you paid attention to them, right? This is because your prefrontal cortex uses a complex system to screen out the cues deemed not to be important for the task at hand. It is now clear that your creative, innovative capabilities are enhanced if you have less of this latent inhibition. That means you can unconsciously hold more bits of sensory information in your prefrontal cortex. It is almost as if you can dedicate more prefrontal brain space to enrich the solutions and innovations, eventually moving more possible solutions to your conscious. The final executive function of the prefrontal cortex we want to highlight is cognitive flexibility. Although cognitive flexibility is poorly understood, we do know this. It can be described as the ability of the left and right prefrontal cortex to dynamically cooperate in the process of innovation and problem solving. Remember that the brain functions as a whole to solve problems and create novel products. The right and left hemispheres of the brain function as a dynamic, cognitively flexible system to achieve this. In summary, executive function is the regulating higher-order driver for innovation. It directs problem solving and various executive functions like working memory, focus and sustained attention, reduced latent inhibition, and cognitive flexibility, all of which can be enhanced. And remember, innovation is an important condition for thriving, making executive function a major priority for organizational leadership.